Good day everyone, welcome to our documentary presentation titled Nation, Identity and Pride, Singapore versus Japan. Today, we will explore how two successful countries built nationalism and patriotism through their national philosophies. First, national philosophy refers to a set of core values, beliefs, and guiding principles that shape how a country develops politically, socially, and culturally. It influences how citizens think, behave, and contribute to nation building.
Nice.
Next, nationalism is a sense of pride and loyalty toward one's nation, while patriotism is the emotional attachment and love for one's country. These two concepts are important because they help create unity and strengthen national identity. In this video, we will compare Singapore and Japan to understand how different systems and cultures can still achieve strong nation building. Now, let us begin our journey.
Our study is guided by several research questions. First, what are the national philosophies of Singapore and Japan? Second, how do both countries promote nationalism and patriotism among their citizens? Third, what similarities and differences exist between the two countries? Fourth, what challenges do they face in maintaining national identity? And finally, how effective are the national philosophies in nation building? Our objectives are to understand how Singapore and Japan build national unity and to analyze the effectiveness of their approaches in a modern globalized world. This study is important because globalization has made national identity more complex. It helps us understand why preserving unity, culture, and identity is still very important today.
Singapore built its national identity, thought structure, policies, and strong government support. One of the key elements is national education. From a young age, students are taught citizenship, unity, and responsibility.
Why is this very important to love Singapore?
Because we are stronger when we are united and respect each other.
Next is meritocracy, which means everyone has equal opportunity based on ability and effort, not background. This encourages fairness and motivates citizens to work hard. Another important principle is multiracialism. Singapore promotes racial harmony among Chinese, Malay, Indian, and other community identity with the ideal. Finally, Singapore promotes a shared identity with the idea of Singaporean first. This helps citizens put national interests above individual difference. In conclusion, Singapore national philosophy is policy-driven, structured, and designed to manage a diverse society.
Japan's national philosophy is deeply rooted in cultural traditions and social values. One key concept is collectivism, which means the group is more important than the individual. Another important value is cultural preservation. Festivals, traditions, and language are carefully maintained across generations. Patriotism in Japan is shown through respect for national symbols and cultural pride. Finally, work ethics in Japan emphasize loyalty, responsibility, and dedication. In conclusion, Japan's national philosophy is culture-driven and deeply embedded in daily life and tradition.
Although Singapore and Japan are different, they share several important similarities. First, both countries use education to build patriotism among young people. Second, both emphasize social harmony and national unity. Third, both promote collective responsibility when citizens are expected to contribute to society. Fourth, both value discipline, respect, and order in daily life. Finally, both governments play an important role in shaping national identity. This similarity exists because both countries prioritize stability, development, and long-term national success.
The
Despite similarities, Singapore and Japan are very different in how they build nationalism. Singapore, on the other hand, is a multiracial society, while Japan is mostly homogeneous. Singapore is modern and globalized, while Japan is more traditional and culture-centered. Singapore promotes meritocracy, while Japan emphasizes collectivism. And then Singapore's national identity is policy-driven by the government. In contrast, Japan's national identity is culture-driven and naturally developed over time. This difference exists because Singapore needs structured policies to unite its diverse populations, while Japan already has a strong cultural foundation.
Both Singapore and Japan face modern challenges in maintaining nationalism and patriotism. First is globalization, which foreign culture influence young people, and second is social media, which spreads different values and ideology quickly. And third is some youth feel less connected to national identity. Fourth, economic pressures make career success more important than patriotism. In Singapore, immigration and diversity also challenge unity. In Japan, an aging population creates long-term social and economic issues. This challenge shows that national identity must constantly adapt to modern change.
Singapore has strong strength, especially in maintaining racial harmony and effective governments. However, some may feel that patriotism is too structured or controlled by policies. Japan, in the other hand, has a very strong cultural identity and deep traditions, but it also faces challenges such as pressure to conform and declining youth engagement. In conclusion, Singapore and Japan represent two different paths to nation building. Singapore relies on structural policies, while Japan relies on cultural tradition. Both systems are effective, but both face modern challenge in a globalized world. Ultimately, national philosophy plays a very important role in shaping unity, identity, and pride among citizens. Thank you for watching our presentation.
And cut! Wow, we are finally done with the presentation. But honestly, after looking all that research, it really makes you think. We talk a lot about the official rule and ideas in Singapore and Japan, but how does all this actually work in life today? Especially for young people like us who are always on our phones.
Right. I mean, the world is so different now. Like we mentioned when talking about challenges, the internet and social media make the world feel so small. A teenager living in Singapore or Tokyo might care more about a viral global trend online than their own country's history or national symbols.
Exactly. And it affects both countries in different ways because of how they started. Think about Singapore, because the national pride is built on government plans, schools, and rules like national educations. The hard part today is making it feel real. You can't just tell a young person to love their country because a rule says so. It has to mean something personal to them, especially as the country welcomes more people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and I think Japan is the exact opposite. Their pride comes from old traditions, culture, and doing things together as a group. Right. Like students cleaning up their own classrooms. But today, life is much more stressful, and I think there's a big issue with an aging population. So young people might feel a lot of pressure to fit in. So some of them are starting to feel like less and less connected to those old traditions.
Yeah, it shows that times are changing. For Singapore, the challenge is keeping a mixed society united when the internet pulls everyone in different directions. But for Japan, it is about keeping their deep culture alive when the number of young people is shrinking.
Yeah, Exactly. But I think what's cool is that even though they are so different, right, both countries, they want the same thing: a safe, successful, and happy place to live in. They both use their schools to teach kids respect, discipline, and learn to help others. So they just do it in their own respective homes.
It proves that national pride isn't something that stays frozen in the past. It has to change and grow with the people. If it doesn't match how young people think and live today, it loses its meaning.
I think that's very well said. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's a single right way to build a country. Whether you use like government plans like Singapore or deep traditions like Japan, I think the real heart of the country will always be its people.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is up to our generation to keep our identity alive while still being open to the world. And with that, we have reached the very end of our video.
Thank you so much to everyone who's watching and listening to our chat. We hope this gave you a simple way to look at how different countries build their identity.
Goodbye, everyone.